The salvage auction on Station Kepler 7 was exactly what Liam had expected. Desperate traders, shady dealers, and ships that looked one solar flare away from becoming expensive debris. He stood at the back of the crowd, arms crossed, watching lot after lot of rusted hulks get sold to the highest bidder. Lot 47. The auctioneer's mechanical voice droned. Terran light freighter, model unknown, approximately 30 years old. Salvage rights only. No guarantees on functionality. Starting bid, 2,000 credits. Liam perked up. 2,000 credits? For an entire ship? Even if it was barely functional, the parts alone would be worth 10 times that. He raised his hand. 2,000. He called out. The room fell silent. Other bidders glanced at the holo display showing the vessel a battered thing, with scorched hull plating and a name that had been burned away by atmospheric entry. Nobody else seemed interested. 2,000 once, twice. Sold to the human in the back. Liam couldn't believe his luck. He'd been scraping by for months, doing odd repair jobs around the station, saving every credit for a chance like this. His own ship, Freedom, away off this rust bucket station and back into the black. 2 hours later, he stood in the station's lower docking bay, staring at his purchase. Up close, it looked even worse. The hull was pockmarked with micrometeorite impacts. One of the landing struts was bent at an alarming angle, and the airlock door hung slightly askew. But it was as Liam approached cautiously, his handheld scanner beeping as it analyzed the ship's integrity. Atmosphere, breathable, surprisingly. Power, minimal, running on emergency cells. Life support, active but failing. That last reading made him pause. Why would life support be running on a derelict? He forced the airlock open manually, the hydraulics groaning in protest. The interior was dark, lit only by the emergency strips along the floor. The air smelled stale, recycled too many times. Liam clicked on his wrist light and stepped inside. The cargo bay was empty except for scattered debris, broken containers, old tarps, what looked like the remains of someone's personal effects. He was about to turn back when he heard it. A sound, faint, almost imperceptible. Crying. Liam froze. Hello. His voice echoed through the empty ship. The crying stopped. Is someone there? He moved deeper into the cargo bay, his light sweeping across bulkheads and corners. I'm not going to hurt you. I just bought this ship. Silence. Then, from behind a stack of collapsed storage crates, movement. Liam approached slowly, hands raised. It's okay. I'm Liam. I'm human. He rounded the crates and stopped dead. Huddled in the corner, wrapped in a thermal blanket, was a child. A girl, maybe 8 or 9 years old, with dark tangled hair and eyes that reflected his wrist light like an animal's. But she wasn't entirely human. Her skin had a faint iridescent quality, and her eyes, those eyes were too large. The pupils vertically slitted. Hybrid, human and something else. Hey, Liam said softly, crouching down to her level. What's your name? The girl stared at him, trembling. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely a whisper. Nia, that's a pretty name. Liam kept his voice gentle. How long have you been on this ship? I don't know. Tears welled up in those strange, beautiful eyes. Days, maybe longer. The food ran out. Liam's jaw tightened. Someone had abandoned her here, left her to die in a ship destined for salvage. Okay, Nia, I'm going to get you out of here. Get you some food, some water. You're safe now. She shook her head frantically. No, they'll find me. They'll take me back. Who? Who's looking for you? The consortium. She clutched the blanket tighter. My father. He worked for them. When he died, they said I was property, an asset. Because of what I am. Liam felt anger rising in his chest, that hot, burning fury that humans were famous for throughout the galaxy. The consortium was a powerful corporate entity that operated in the gray areas of galactic law. If they'd marked this child as property, you're not property, Liam said firmly. You're a person, and I'm not letting anyone take you. Nia looked at him with surprise. But, you don't even know me. And the consortium, they're powerful. They have ships, soldiers. If they find out you're hiding me, then they'll learn why humans don't give up. Liam interrupted. Look, I know I just met you, but where I come from, we don't abandon kids. We don't let corporations decide who gets to be free and who doesn't. For the first time, Something like hope flickered across Nia's face. Over the next hour, Liam got Nia settled in the ship's small crew quarters. He brought her food from the station, real food, not the nutrient paste she'd been surviving on, and watched as she devoured it, with the desperation of someone who'd forgotten what it meant to be cared for. While she ate, Liam worked. He rerouted power systems, coaxed the ancient engines to life, and bypassed half a dozen safety protocols that would have normally prevented this wreck from flying. His hands moved with practiced efficiency, the kind of skill humans had honed over centuries of making broken things work. "Can we really escape?" Nia asked from the doorway, watching him work. "Yes," Liam said, not looking up from the power coupling he was rewiring. "This ship might look like junk, but that's good. Nobody's looking for junk. And I've got some tricks up my sleeve. Because you're human?" Now he looked at her, grinning. "Exactly. We're stubborn like that." 3 hours later, they were ready. Liam had filed a flight plan that would take them to the outer colony's places, where the consortium's reach was weaker and questions weren't asked as loudly. As the ship shuddered to life, Nia strapped into the co-pilot's seat, her eyes wide with wonder and fear. "You ever been off station before?" Liam asked, running through pre-flight checks. She shook her head. "Then hold on. It's going to be bumpy." The cheap ship rattled and groaned as they lifted off, but it flew, against all odds and reasonable expectations. It flew out as Station Kepler 7 shrank behind them, and the stars stretched into lines. Nia turned to Liam with tears streaming down her face, but this time, they were tears of relief. "Thank you," she whispered. Liam smiled. "That's what humans do, kid. We buy cheap ships, find impossible situations, and somehow make it work. Welcome to the crew, in the vastness of space." A broken ship carried 2 souls toward freedom, proving once again that humanity's greatest strength wasn't technology or firepower. It was the refusal to leave anyone behind.